Oh, good one. Thank
We had it on
you.
earlier, but we were chatting earlier, so we shut it off. We're like, oh, we better remember to put it back on. So we are going to record it. So if anybody wants to see the recording later, we'll upload it to YouTube just to refresh some of the information. But again, thank you for being here. My name is Karen Klein. I am the certified life coach, founder of Align the Retreat, Shescapes Women's Wellness. And we are doing something really special that I'm super excited about. We are doing a voyage edition of this retreat on the most amazing ship that I had the pleasure of doing a ship inspection. Oh, there's an echo. Why is there? Does everybody have an echo?
Yeah.
No? Okay. Whoever has an echo, what could the echo be from? I'm not a super tech person. Um, if you could try to turn your volume down, maybe get yourself away from other electronics, it might help. If you're on a wireless speaker, headphones, I don't know, but I don't know how to fix it. I'm really sorry. Um, anyway, so I had the pleasure of doing a ship inspection on one of the Windstar ships in May. One of the sister ships, and it was like I just walked on it and I just said I have to do this. I have to do something on this ship. It is the essence of what my retreats stand for and what I always want to bring forward to women. So let's get at it. So we're going to talk today about the retreat. Um, what's included. We have my co-facilitator with me here, Colin. I'll have her introduce herself in a moment, as well as Andrea from Windstar Cruises to talk to us a lot about the ship and how special it is and all the inclusions. So really excited to kind of share this experience with you. And most vacations, yes, this is going to be a vacation, but most vacations allow us to step away from our everyday lives, but a lot of times, show of hands, you come back from a vacation and you almost feel like you need another vacation, right? Like you're just like, "Brah!" Especially if you have children and the kids go with you. You get back and you're like, man, I wish I had a few days off before I go back to work because it was exhausting. This vacation we've designed for you guys to really give yourself that permission to slow down, pause, reset, relax, and really give you something more. So coming home, not only with incredible memories, but feeling more connected to yourself, more clear about what you want, and just genuinely restored. So that's kind of the idea behind Align the Retreat. I'm going to just pass it over to my co-presenters here today just to introduce themselves a little bit, and then I'll get right into the retreat experience. So I'll pass it over to Colin, my co-facilitator that will be on the ship with us.
Thanks, Karen. Hey, everyone. Welcome. Thanks for being here. My name's Kalin. I actually live here in Costa Rica, which is where I am right now. And
Mm.
I'm looking forward to February because it's just starting to rain a little bit here. Still warm. Anyways, I used to be a nurse, and at one point, I found myself completely burnt out. I had been working a corporate job for a very, very long time and didn't take care of myself during it. So I love what Karen's saying because same experience. Anytime I went away, it was like I went, but I was still there, behaving the same way, doing all the things, which eventually led me to. I always had yoga, but to really lean into yoga and all of the practices as opposed to just the things that I was used to practicing in the studio. So yeah, I started running retreats, teaching yoga all the time, and eventually just had to stay here. And now that's what I do. I specifically work with mainly women in the corporate world to teach or share another way to take time off, whether that's to support you in staying in corporate or to support you in leaving corporate. So I'm excited to be doing something completely different where we kind of have to be more intentional with our planning. And we have a really great schedule lined up for you all, both supporting us on and off the ship. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Andrea, I'm actually going to hold off your intro for when you lead
Present.
into and present the retreat stuff. So,
Oh,
um, yeah, so let's just get right into the experience and what we've designed for you guys. So, I want you guys to all think about this. You can throw something in the chat if you want to, but what if, as I mentioned before, your next vacation didn't just give you great memories, if they even gave you that? As we mentioned, our vacations are uh, pretty hectic. But what if they changed how you lived when you came home? So, what I mean by that, and what I mean by that for this experience is this is simply not just a cruise, and it's not even a traditional wellness retreat where every minute is programmed out. It combines luxury travel, personal growth, wellness, adventure, and genuine connection. So, the transformational journey that we've designed over the 7 days while we're on board this amazing vessel has a daily theme. We are going to arrive. We're going to slow down. We're going to learn how to be present. We are going to align. We're going to learn how to reconnect with our values and our needs and what matters. We're going to release challenging beliefs, patterns that no longer serve you. We're going to learn how to strengthen boundaries. So we're going to practice courage, self-trust, and resilience. We're going to also expand. So we're going to reconnect with the possibility, the purpose, the future that you want. And we're going to learn how to experience joy again, make space for creativity, play, laughter, living fully. And then finally, we're going to integrate. We actually have a last day fully up at sea. We're going to spend a lot of time integrating so that when you guys come home, you can take all that you've discovered, all these new learnings and lessons, and we'll create that plan so that you can keep this alive when you get home. So some of the things that you're going to experience, as we mentioned, you're going to you're going to have a lot of time for yourself, but during that time, you're going to be probably exercising a lot of things that we've talked about and learned. Um, and we might set you off on the day in a port to, expand yourself a little bit. So, but on the daily, we're going to have yoga, some kind of mindful movement, meditation, breath work, sound healing. Colin's going to do a really special cacao ceremony. We're going to have some personal growth workshops, work on mindset. We're going to learn some CBT based tools. Some of you may be familiar with this from therapy or counseling, but it's cognitive behavioral therapy where we challenge our thoughts and we can really learn to shift our mindset, especially during real tough times where we get pushed into stress and we tend to go to these negative spaces. We'll do some limiting belief work, goal setting, and then we'll do some future self work. Every evening, we'll have some journal prompts, things for you to think about, reflect on throughout the day. We'll have some talking circles, beach yoga, which is going to be amazing. And actually, before Kalin agreed to come on the ship with me, I reached out to her and I said, "Hey, you've got a center in Costa Rica." And I don't know if any of you guys know, but Costa Rica is probably one of the biggest meccas for retreats and retreat centers. And just like everybody goes to Costa Rica, it's amazing there. It's just the nature, the rainforest, the animals. And yes, I want to see a sloth. I don't know if anybody else does, but I do. Um, but I thought I'm going to reach Lynn and see if she'll do something on the beach for my group when we're there. Well, she was like, I'm coming on board with you. Like, I'm going to work with your group all 7 days on the ship. So really delighted and special to have her join us. So, but we will be doing beach yoga. There might be optional paddleboard yoga where conditions permit. Uh, we're encouraging having breakfasts and dinners together, but there's going to be tons of spacious free time. Now, on the flip side, outside of the retreat, you can also choose to do optional shore excursions, spa treatments, independent exploration, pool time, reading, journaling, simply resting, enjoying the ocean. All of those things belong to this experience. So, and the other thing is, if you're a person that gets up at 5 o'clock every morning for work and kids and all the things, there is no expectation that you're up for sunrise yoga. If part of the experience for you is that you're sleeping until 10, you're sleeping until 10. And that's just the way it's going to be because that's what you need. So you were going to make this really personal for you. Um, One of the things that, if any of you guys have experienced my retreats here locally in the past, is they are always very intimate by design. So the half-day retreats that I've done here with cold plunge sauna, nervous system reset, all the things, I never have more than 10, 12, 15 people. I keep them very small on purpose because I want to really foster the meaningful connection, support, accountability. I want those authentic conversations and I want friendships to build as well. So think about this experience as yes, we're on a ship. The ship is our beautiful backdrop, but it's really the women are what's going to make this retreat really special. And the destination becomes a part of the retreat because, as I said, the morning workshop, and then we'll go out and experience the port, and we may all have an evening reflection together and kind of integrate some of the learnings. So that's kind of in a nutshell. I know we're being quick here, but we want to try to again squeeze everything into this 1 hour or less. Um, I'm going to transition over to Andrea now. She's going to actually take us through the fun part. She's going to take us right inside Windstar, show us about the experience, the yacht, um, and all the ways that you're going to be able to enjoy the journey when you're not in the retreat programming. So, Andrea, I'm going to pass it over to you.
Thank you, Karen. Wow, that was a wonderful introduction because I have to tell you, I'm tempted. You mentioned so many things and so many, uh, I don't know, formats that you do that I've never really heard of. So I'm finding this very intriguing.
I
But
can find you a roommate. Don't you worry.
I also just wanted to give a quick shout out to Janice. Nice to see you on. And Colin, very nice to meet you. I'm very, very pleased to meet you. And hello, everybody else. I'm excited to share with you. And you express this in Windstar terms because when I go through my presentation, Karen was only going to give me 15 or 20 minutes, and I said, no way, there's no ways I can talk for that short a time. But you spoke about meaningful connections and you also spoke about authentic experiences, and that is truly the Windstar way. So let me put on my presentation, go through everything, and I'm going to just start this from the beginning. And let's see. No, that's not what I want. Let's start this from the beginning. Hold on, everybody. We practiced this, and here, let's go from the beginning. Let me know because I can't see anybody now at this point. So Karen, I can't even see with a thumbs up. I've just got my presentation in front of me. So I don't see anybody. You let me know if you can see this and also when my video comes on, if you can hear it.
We
Can you
don't
see?
have the presentation showing just
Oh,
yet.
hold on a second then. Let
Okay,
me do this. Let me go through this and share and content. I want to do it with sound.
we did practice. There we
We
go.
did practice. So let me,
Starting, it's coming up now.
okay, from the beginning. You let me know.
There we go. Yeah.
And now I can actually see both Colin and you, Karen. You're the only two I can see. So welcome again, everybody. And I'm excited to share this with you because this is a very, very different experience. Again, my name is Andrea Mendelson. I work with the travel advisors, with the travel owners, and of course, then they introduce me to the likes of you all, our consumers. But again, I'm excited to share with you how Windstar Cruises is truly 180 degrees from ordinary. I imagine that when you say to your friends or you hear your friends and family say, we're going on a cruise, what do you all imagine? A huge, big monster ship, a floating village, thousands of people. And if you've had that experience, you know you've got to stand in line at the buffet. You've got to pull a number to get on and off the ship. It is a very, very different experience being on a big mainstream cruise line. Windstar Cruises is really, really unique. We call ourselves a small ship cruise line, and our tagline, being 180 degrees from ordinary, is truly that experience, that different experience that we bring to you. Because think about it, when you do a 360, you start at one point and you end up at that very same point. Going 180 degrees is truly going to take you in a different direction. And that's what we do. We give you these immersive experiences. We take you to places that the big ships don't go, and you have a true, authentic experience. And I loved what you said again, Karen, meaningful connections, whether it's the destination, the people in the destination, or the few people that you're going to meet on board the ship. I'm going to put on a short video. I hope the sound comes through. Karen, you'll give me the thumbs up. And I just want to give you a little insight. We've got different types of ships. I want you to get a feel for what the experience is like. And then obviously I'm going to elaborate when I come back. So let's see if
The wind and stars have guided seafarers for millennia. And now it's your turn to discover their magic on Windstar's iconic Wind class and luxurious all-suite Star Plus class yachts. Revel in the nautical traditions of the sea as white sails unfurl, pulling you towards hidden lagoons and untouched beaches on our Wind class. Or rejoice in the newly transformed Star Plus class, with 277 square foot minimum suites that promise a constellation of comforts and amenities beyond your wildest dreams. No matter which yacht you choose, you'll jump directly off the water sports platform at the back of the ship and can join your captain for navigation lessons on the open bridge. Customize your experience with all-inclusive or cruise-only fares. Come, the wind and stars are waiting. Wherever you want to go, Windstar knows the way.
So a very short video, albeit a lot of information. And what I'm going to do is just very, very quickly introduce you to our fleet, because what you saw in the video is that we have two different types of ships. I'm going to refer you to the bottom, first of all, which we call our wind fleet or our wind ships. And these obviously, as you can see, have the sails. Beautiful, these sails hydraulically unfurl, and many people want to come on Windstar to have that experience, the experience of the sails and the romance of the sails. However, what you need to know on Windstar cruises when you come on that experience is nobody stands barefoot on Windstar and helps raise the sails. Our guests will stand with a cocktail or a drink in their hand, and these sails hydraulically unfurl, as we say, from one beautiful, unique destination to the other. On the top, you're going to see our Star Class. These are beautiful ships and quite unbelievable what we've done with them. When we first purchased them from another luxury cruise line called Seabourn Cruises, being a small ship cruise line, we bought these small ships. And at that time in 2011, they could accommodate 212 guests. We did quite a remarkable engineering feat during COVID. We took all three of these sister ships into a shipyard in Palermo, Sicily. We split them in half, we stretched them, and we added in a middle section, a brand new middle section. And when we've now stuck these ships back together again, they now can accommodate 312 guests. So you can still hear that this is a small, intimate experience. You're not going to have the crowds. You're not going to have to jostle for space and elbow your way through. This is a very intimate one-on-one experience, not only with our crew, but with as many people as you want to engage with, and I'm sure everybody in your group. The cruise that we're going to talk about is on the Star Legend, but I'm going to talk in a lot more detail. So you might be wondering now, well, you know, it's a small ship. Who is the typical Windstar guest or the typical Windstar traveler? Well, everybody, I'm in sales. So I'm going to say everybody on this call and everybody who's going to see this video, you need to know that you are the Windstar guest. It is truly for people who want that unique, immersive experience, going to off the beaten path places that, let me say again, the big ships can't go to, or if they do go to some of the similar destinations, they have to anchor way out to sea and guests have to tender in for the longest time. Whereas with Windstar cruises, in many instances, because we're small enough to be able to do this, we can very often dock right in port. So it's an easy on and off the ship. When we can't, for obvious reasons, the port or the pier is too small, we cannot dock right in port, we're a very short way away and it's a short tender ride in. And who better to have on this call, Colin, than you to talk about all the destinations in detail as to where everybody's going. But who again is the traveler? People who don't necessarily want to get to a destination and check it off their bucket list and take some pictures to prove they were there and buy a souvenir and quickly have something to drink and then have to make their way all the way back to the ship. Our travelers are just not people who just want to go in and out. They want to immerse in these amazing places that we take them to. What you do need to know, and I know it doesn't apply to your group because I doubt very much you will be traveling with younger people, we don't confirm children under the age of 8. So it might be important for you. I can see Colin smiling and laughing, but it would be important for you to know that you're not going to find young kids and young families. In this picture, you can see a young couple, and they may have said to their parents or their in-laws, you look after the grandchildren, we're going on Windstar cruises. So I think from the get-go, it's important to know that you're not going to have a lot of kids running around and dive bombing into the pool. This is more of an adult experience, which I think is important to know from the get-go. And I want you to also know, for those of you who've been on different cruises, of course I don't know, there's sometimes an assumption or a presumption that if you're going on a small ship, it might be a little bit stuffy or a little bit snooty or a little bit pretentious. Honestly, on the contrary, that's the Windstar's 180 degrees from ordinary experience. Our experience is a laid back, casual, very informal experience on Windstar. And I think nowadays, especially with the destination that Karen and Colin have chosen, you don't want that formality. I don't know. I think this is going to be a women's retreat, so I won't even refer to any of the men having to wear suits and ties. We don't want that on our ship. And as you can see from this picture, during the day, it is laid back, casual. You wear what you want when you want. At nighttime, we refer to it as understated elegance or country club casual. Honestly, you'll wear a skirt or a pair of pants or a dress. There is no formality. And that is important because who wants to do that nowadays, no matter the destination? It is relaxed. We also don't require reservations when you're going to our main dining room. It's called Amphora. And we say, we don't want you to leave a fabulous, new, exciting destination. You might be doing a late yoga class. You could be doing anything. And you think, oh, I've got a set dinner reservation at 6:30. I've got to leave what I'm doing. I love this place. You don't have to do that. Come anytime to our main dining room during our main dining hours, and you can maybe think, you know what, I just want 2 of us tonight, or we want a bigger crowd of 6 or 8. We can accommodate you, and that is really important because you don't want that formality and think, well, our time is 6:30 every night. Boring. You come during meal hours and we can accommodate you. The one thing that I will say is that we do have some specialty dining restaurants on Windstar cruises. We do require that you make a reservation, and Karen and Colin, you'll help guests when everybody checks in. That's when you determine which night where you're going. You want to have this experience. We want people to make a reservation because we want everybody to have a chance. What you need to know is this is included in the cost of your cruise fare. There is no surcharge when you go to a specialty dining restaurant on Windstar cruises. It's all about relaxing. This is going to be your experience. And whilst I know you're going to do your yoga classes and your meditation, if you just want to relax on board, I don't know how many of you have been on a bigger cruise where you know somebody's got to get up early in the morning and go and put a towel on a deck chair to save the space. This does not happen on Windstar cruises. Aside from the fact that we are going to be, except for the last day, you are going to be, not we, you are going to be in port all the time. For those of you who think, well, you know, I want to take a little bit of extra time and just relax on board, you don't have to get up early. There is room for everybody. If we don't dock right in port and you have to catch a tender, you don't have to be the first person in line because we've got so few guests. And we very often have a situation where if the tender driver is there and there's just 2 of you waiting to go ashore and it's a quick tender ride, he'll just take you and come back and get the next people. So it's very informal. There's no frenetic urgency to be the first and be up early. As Karen said, if this is your luxury and you want to sleep till 10, we'll be able to take you at 11 o'clock or 10:30, whatever time you want to go. For us, it's truly that freedom from crowds. And I think based on the nature of your experience that you're going to have, you don't want thousands of people. You don't want to have those crowds like going to a busy shopping center and finding parking. This is going to be an easy experience. And the way you are going to experience luxury on board Windstar is that one-on-one experience that we offer you. You're going to see on day 2, our crew know your names. They know your preferences, and how nice. That truly makes you feel like a VIP. They recognize me, and that is the privilege and the honor that we have to have you as our guests on board Windstar Cruises. We want you to feel at home. I think you might have seen very quickly in the short video that we actually have an open bridge policy because we say at Windstar Cruises, we want everybody to feel like you're on your own private yacht. You don't have to pay for an excursion to go into the bridge. Our captain has a special brew coffee in the morning. Come and speak to him if you are an early riser. If we're sailing under the stars at night, go in and see what we're doing in the bridge. It is a lovely experience to do that. And I want to focus a little bit more on our marina, or what we call our water sports platform. There is going to be occasion when we are able to lower our water sports platform when we're not docked right in port. But when we do our fabulous beach barbecue, this is when we bring out all our water sports toys. And I want you to know, other than scuba diving, everything is complimentary. Karen, I heard you mentioning doing yoga on a paddleboard, or I couldn't even get on a paddleboard, so I would have to decline that offer. Stop laughing, Colin. But I do want you to know that even if you have this like swimming pool in the middle of the ocean, or paddleboarding, or kayaking, or snorkeling, or even in a powerboat, this is all complimentary. And if for those of you who like snorkeling and you want to get your gear in the beginning, and as you get on board the ship and you go down to the platform, they can fit you out with your gear that you can, with your goggles and your snorkels, that you can keep for the entire duration of the cruise, which is wonderful because you are going to have a beach barbecue and you want to take advantage of this wonderful, wonderful experience. For those of you, and I'm sure you're all fit and able and agile, but if you think, oh, this might be a little bit much for me, we also got some flotation mattresses that you can just bob up and down on the water, and it's absolutely wonderful. So lots to look forward to. Well, I hope you're intrigued. I hope you're getting excited, but obviously everybody wants to know about the food. And nobody from any reputable company is going to do a presentation and say, our food is mediocre. We're all going to brag and say that our food is the best, our food is excellent, but I can honestly substantiate that what I'm telling you is the truth. We've recently celebrated our 10th anniversary as an exclusive partner with the James Beard Foundation. Now, if you know about your food, James Beard is an organization that recognizes globally top chefs, top sommeliers, top mixologists who come and train our chefs and our crew how to create the most delicious, delectable meals on board. And I will add, I don't know if anybody's a vegetarian or vegan, but we can accommodate any special dietary and meal requests. So you'll let us know in advance so that the chef can speak to you in advance. But I have to tell you that all the meals are absolutely delicious. So something to look out for. And as I mentioned, even when you do go to a specialty dining room, the food or the cost of the food is all included. Now, what Windstar usually does is we offer you a cruise-only fare. So all the meals, as I've mentioned, all the non-alcoholic beverages, which in many, many instances you have to pay for on other cruises with a beverage package. But all your specialty coffees, your lattes, your cappuccinos, your teas, your soda or pop, your bottled water is all included. You go to our yacht club and have some delicious coffees there, or you sit wherever you want. All included. There is a charge for alcoholic beverages. However, on this group that Karen negotiated with us, she has negotiated our all-in package, which let me show you what it is. Normally, it would cost our guests approximately 140 Canadian dollars per person per day. Karen, well done, because you got this fabulous offer included in your group, and I'm thrilled to say that everybody, no matter how much you drink or how little you drink, you're going to get this fabulous package and not have to pay a cent. We are including unlimited wine by the glass, so it's select wines. I will say don't buy a bottle because we can sell it to you at a discount, but you find the wine that you like. You can order 50 glasses a day if you want. It's for unlimited wine by the glass, beer and cocktails, which would normally be $65 per person per day plus tax. It's included. We give you Wi-Fi on 2 devices. So if you've got your phone and you're taking your iPad or your laptop, shouldn't be working on this, right, Karen? But we give you Wi-Fi on 2 devices, and it also includes the gratuities. So pretty much other than your shore excursions, you have nothing to worry about on this. And I know, Karen, you also negotiated a fabulous shipboard credit of $100 per person shipboard credit. So if you want to put that towards a spa treatment, because all the gym facilities or the fitness facilities are included, fabulous. You can do that, or you can put it towards your shore excursions. So now, Karen, well done for choosing a beautiful itinerary, and how wonderful that Colin, your partner, is actually there to really go into the details about the destination, because I don't know how much time I've got, but I know I've been restricted to a certain amount of time. So this is exciting, and this is something that I'm sure you're all looking forward to. The itinerary starts in Costa Rica, so you would have to fly into Costa Rica and out of Panama, but I know, Karen, you're going to obviously be organizing all of that. Here is the itinerary, everybody, and let me just say, I'm so sorry, I should have mentioned to you, this is a 7-night cruise on one of our Star class ships, the Star Legend, and it is going to go, and this is the itinerary, starting in Costa Rica and then sailing through and ending in Panama. And Karen, again, without speaking your part, I don't know, and I imagine you could potentially organize pre or post whatever excursions or stays prior to the cruise. So I want everybody to see these beautiful ports of call that we go to. Again, you're not going to see the big ships. And I've been to Cape Coast. I've actually done this itinerary. I believe it's in Isla Parida, where we actually do our and Colin, you're nodding your head because you know all these places, right? Or you've been close to them if you haven't been there. These are all beautiful destinations with stunning beaches, white sands, but it's not just about the sunbathing and the swimming and the lying in the sun. As you know, and as Karen alluded to, it's also about the phenomenal biodiversity. And I really do hope you see a sloth. I was fortunate enough to do it. And these beautiful colored birds and the different monkeys. And I don't know, there is a shore excursion that you can do if anybody likes to zip line, because that is something that I did. And it was quite a phenomenal experience. And Colin, I'm sure you've got information where people can do that. So some beautiful ports of call that we're going to. And I said to Karen earlier tonight, I'm not going to go through to the entire itinerary where I say you arrive at, I was going to do that. There's not enough time. Where you arrive at 7 in the morning and you depart late at night. But what I want you to know on a Windstar ship is that we usually do arrive early to allow guests to immerse in these incredible destinations, because you're going to want to do things on the beach. You probably might want to do some shore excursions or even discover on your own. We don't just give you 4 hours or 3 hours. We truly want you to immerse in these incredible destinations. That being said, I also want to talk about the experience that you're going to have on our Star Legend. Now, you heard me mention the fact that this ship initially could only accommodate 212 guests. Now we've increased it to a big sum of 312. You can still hear that it's obviously under 350 guests, and that's what allows us to categorize ourselves as a small ship experience. What I want you to know, everybody, is some of the features on the ship, and then I'll talk about some of the accommodation. So you heard me say you could use your shipboard credit towards any treatments. So massage, you can have your nails, your hair done in our beauty salon. I'm going to ask you to look down and see the steam room and thermal suites. These are chaise lounge. They absolutely complimentary. So you can go in and have a steam bath. Now, on other ships, I'm mentioning this because on other ships, it is not complimentary. So you can sit in the sauna, you can go to the steam room, and then you can come and relax on these heated chaise lounges and just have a wonderful experience. Of course, there is a charge if you're having a treatment done. We've got pools and hot tubs. In fact, there's 2 decks that do have a hot tub. You've got one on the main deck, which is on the 7th deck. And there's also a secret one that I'm sure you'll discover on the 5th deck. So that's another kind of private one that not everybody knows about, but take advantage of sitting there. Candles Restaurant, I've gone to the top of the page, is one of our specialty dining restaurants. And I'm going to hop over to Basil and Bamboo. That's also another specialty dining restaurant that we call Mediterranean. So really a different flair of food. Our Candles Restaurant is a steakhouse, but for those of you who don't eat meat, of course, there's chicken and fish and seafood dishes there. I'm not going to talk about everything, and again, in the interest of time, but our veranda is where you would actually have your breakfast and lunches. Everything changes on a daily basis in the veranda. Breakfast and lunch, it's buffet style. But if you think I'm on my relaxing vacation, I'm not going to serve myself food, you can sit and order a la carte off the menu, and everything is prepared a la minute. Because we're so small, we don't prepare loads of meals in advance. You want your pancakes, whatever it is that you want, they're going to prepare it immediately and bring it to you. At nighttime is when we convert this area into our candles restaurant, and you can see the ambiance changes completely. We put out candles, it's different cushions on the chairs. It is a lovely experience. One of my favorite places on any one of our ships, and we have the yacht club on every one of our ships, a beautiful, relaxing experience. This is where we have our coffee bar. We've got our barista. If you get up very early in the morning, there's little sandwiches before you want to have your breakfast. At tea time, there's different snacks. Lovely, lovely, relaxing experience with a wraparound veranda that you can go and sit and look at the view. And for a restaurant is our main dining room. Again, let me repeat, no reservations required. You can ask for a table for 2, 4, 6, 8. I'm sure you'll be doing that every night. So and I won't even talk about the stairways, because who needs to know about that? You're probably all very fit, but for those of you who need to know, we actually have an elevator in our ship. So for those of you who think, well, you know what, I've done a lot of yoga and a lot of exercise today, I'm not going to walk from the 3rd floor up to the 6th. Off you go in the elevator. And the other thing I wanted to point out is Compass Rose. This is a fabulous, fabulous pre-dinner place to go and listen to music and have a lovely cocktail, or after dinner to come and sit and dance if you want to. It's a lovely, lovely experience. So I did explain to you the veranda that converts from breakfast, and then at nighttime it becomes our specialty dining steakhouse restaurant called Candles. We've also got an outside grill, which is another place if you want to relax during lunchtime and sometimes dinners. It really is a lovely experience, and no reservations required. Just to give you another look at Amphora, our main dining room, and Candles, as I mentioned to you. And this, of course, is the yacht club. So you can see our little cafe there where you get your specialty coffees. Really a beautiful, relaxing experience. Now let's talk about some of the accommodations. And I want you to know that I'm not going to discuss prices. Karen has that all for you. Karen, how much longer do I have? Just so that I know. Tell me how long I've got.
Like 5:10, 5:07.
If you all thought I was speaking fast before, watch me go now. Here I go. What I want you to know, everybody, is irrespective of the room category that you choose, whether it's a porthole, whether it's an ocean view room with a beautiful panoramic ocean view, whether you decide to choose a balcony suite, and please be aware that our balconies are French balconies. These are not balconies that you can go and sit and have breakfast or invite your friends to come for cocktails. You would open the sliding doors, and there is a banister that you kind of open it up, lean over, and the outside comes in. Irrespective of what category you choose, every single suite, and they are all suites, is an ocean view. Windstar doesn't know what an inside cabin is on any of our ships. So again, you could potentially choose the porthole, which is a few round windows, beautiful, or your ocean view, or of course your balcony suite. The difference in the categories as well is the middle section that we added into the middle of the ship. We had just flipped the orientation of what the original suites looked like. The original suites, if you look at the bottom where it shows an ocean view suite, 3 or 2, when you walk into your room, your bed is there and it's near the washroom. Your sitting area or your lounge is near either the porthole, the ocean view window, or your balcony. The new suites, which is the star balcony, look at the difference on your top right-hand corner. It means that when you walk into your room, the lounge is there and the bed we've put by the window. So it's neither here nor there, but what you really do need to know is if you look at the bottom experience, you can see there's a porthole suite on the top. It's exactly the same. It's got 3 beautiful portholes, and if you want to be a little bit more cost conscious, that's a fabulous experience. Every single suite, as I mentioned, is 277 square feet. And even for a big ship, this is truly a fabulous size. What every single suite has is, look at the bottom right-hand corner, a walk-in closet. How fabulous. And we have refurbished every single washroom or bathroom on these ships, and they have two sinks. So if you are sharing with somebody, it is so unbelievably convenient. We've got walk-in showers. And for those of you who want a tub, Karen, you know that you can request that and we can accommodate you. I'm not going to go through this whole thing again. It's just some different pictures here in a different order. Why did I put it in again? But I do want you to know, and again, I'll be here until the end for any other questions you may have. But I just wanted to give you a quick overview. But you're in such good hands with Colin, who knows the destination, and of course Karen, who's going to orchestrate the whole experience. But I want to thank you all for joining me and for joining us tonight. In addition to all the offers that Karen has negotiated with us, when you make your booking, and I imagine it'll be a new booking with Karen from Align the Retreat, between the 17th of August and the 31st of August. Why did that not come up? There you go. You are going to get an additional 50 US dollars. So that's in addition to your $100. So you're going to get 150 US dollars per person shipboard credit to put towards your spa or to put towards your show excursions. And that's in addition to all the group promotions of the all-in package as well. So it's a wonderful offer. And Karen, well done with your negotiations. I told you to get it in on time and you did. So on behalf of Windstar Cruises, we would love to welcome all of you on board. We're waiting. It's an easy on and off the ship, as you can see. And I want to thank you all, Karen, for giving me this opportunity to share a little bit about Windstar on your presentation.
Whew, thank you so much, Andrea. I am so excited that I wish it was February 9th tomorrow. Like seriously. That ship, so just to kind of go back, there's a couple of things. The onboard credit, there's also a beautiful gift shop on board with a lot of when we did the ship inspection, of course it was closed, but I was like peering in there's a lot of wonderful stuff in so I just confirming, Andrea, the shipboard credit you can also use in the gift shop as
Absolutely.
well. Yeah.
100%.
So and like you mentioned, by comparison to the big ships, like being a retreat leader and wanting to do something for women's wellness, knowing that we need to unplug and get off the hamster wheel. You don't want to be on one of those big ships for something like this, right? You don't want kids and casinos and water slides. And like I said, these ships, once you step on board, I just knew, and I want to share that with everybody else. So a couple of things. So I'll just quickly talk to close, and then we'll have a few minutes for questions after. But I just want to talk about the investment, booking, and all that stuff, and then close off the session. And I also want you to know that although I am Align the Retreat, I am also Ocean Breeze World Travel. So you get the benefit and the best of both worlds. You know you're going to be well taken care of because the travel agent that's going to do the group booking is yours truly, but also leading this wonderful experience. So you can see from this ship, it's for me it was jaw dropping, and I knew it was the best place to kind of bring this wellness connection and just make this incredible experience. In working with Colin in this short period of time, who does a lot of retreats and is very entrenched in the retreat world, there's really not anything like this out there. So we're kind of pioneering something really new and different that's going to really allow people to give themselves what they need, particularly women. So the way that this investment in yourself works is there is the Windstar cruise component, and then there is the Align the Retreat component, and they will be billed separately. So all of those beautiful rooms that Andrea just shared, the starting price for this trip is approximately 3,545 Canadian dollars per person based on double occupancy and based on the suite category and availability. So that is the cruise fare only. The retreat investment is billed separately. So for the full 7-day itinerary for the retreat and all the inclusions that we're going to be providing is 899 Canadian per person. And that's going to, as we mentioned, include all the yoga, the movement, the meditation, the cacao ceremony, the sound healing, all that great stuff that we talked about earlier. So that's quite a nominal investment. If anybody knows the retreat world, my half-day retreats were at $200 for 4 hours. So $899 for the 7 days retreat, And to secure your booking, you would do that through me. I would be able to check the suite availability, and 15% would secure your space for this trip. Anybody that's traveling that thinks they might be traveling alone, there are single rates. I would just have to pull those. They do tend to, as a single traveler, be a little bit higher. If you are open to having a roommate, if we have other singles that come forward that want to join us on this experience, we could certainly see if we could start pairing people together. So the airfare is not included, but I can certainly help out with getting us down, looking for flights to get us down to Costa Rica, returning home from Panama. The couple other things I want to mention, when we arrive in Panama, I really loved this itinerary, and it goes through Costa Rica and ends in Panama. It does not go through the canal. However, we arrive in Panama at, I think, 8 o'clock in the morning, and there are a ton of uh, and Colin can attest to this. There's a ton of places where you, if you really wanted to experience the canal when you get off the ship, you could certainly do that. We might do that before we head home. So if that's something people are interested, we can try to organize something where we do it as a group, or you're free to do it however you like. We do recommend that people fly in on February 8th, which is the day before. We're looking into, and this is optional. This is only if you want to, but we're looking at an optional kind of hotel gathering. So we're looking to see anybody that is flying in on the 8th. We could try to get everybody in the same hotel. The hotel costs, we'll try to work something out there. But we just want to see if we can join as a group on the 8th. Then we can all get to the ship together on the 9th. We don't recommend flying in on the night, just in case there's any issues with flights. Travel insurance, as usual, is always recommended, and that's something that, again, you can uh, request some assistance through me on getting a quote for travel insurance. Otherwise, once it is paid in full, which is closer to the date of the insurance, I can let people know outside of the travel insurance what Windstar's policy is on if there is a cancellation. The retreat portion is non-refundable. The optional shore excursions and spa services, as we mentioned, are additional. You can use your shipboard credit for that. So that pretty much sums up the starting price for the cruise and the retreat portion. I really just want to close by thanking Andrea for her time. I know she's in Toronto. We've got a couple other guests on here as well that are chiming in from the East Coast, so we know it's late. So we'll get you off this call actually a little bit earlier than we thought. But I want to leave you with this. So if you just imagine what your life is like right now, and all that you're managing and all that you have been managing, and just kind of plowing through and going with this momentum. And now it's February 16th, 2027, and you step off the ship in Panama. You think back to the person or the woman that stepped on board 7 days earlier. Maybe something shifted. Maybe you released something that you've been carrying for a long time. Maybe you made some new friends or remembered a part of yourself that got lost somewhere along the way. That's what we're hoping to create in this experience. And we're not hoping to create perfection, but the beginning of something that is going to grow with you and kind of and become the new you. We want to remind people that, you matter too. As women, we kind of get pushed down a little bit. We get all these priorities in our lives, and we want to just kind of lift ourselves back up to the surface. So if this experience speaks to you or anybody that you know, we'd be honored to welcome you aboard. Our retreat, again, is intentionally intimate. The spaces are limited, and the suite categories are subject to availability because the ship, of course, is selling space at the same time we're filling the retreat. So if it's something you're interested in, please reach back out to me and I would be happy to look into suites for you. But other than that, I mean, we do have a few minutes left. I don't know if anybody had any questions, Andrea or Colin, if you wanted to add anything. Are we going to see a sloth, Colin? I want to.
There is the possibility.
Manuel Antonio is a very big
Yeah.
It's one of the shore excursions. It's a very, very big national park, and that's typically where you may see sloths, macaws. There's a number of great shore excursions from river rafting, ATVing. Andrea said zip lining.
Running.
There's trips to like an authentic organic cacao farm to learn. Like there's a number of really wonderful shore excursions that um, can be purchased and added onto your experiences that are offered by the ship. But yeah, we're looking forward to it. Colin and I are going because we're booked. So we'd
But I
we'd
have to just add, it's such an all-encompassing program that you put together, Karen, because I sell cruises. So it's not just the cruise and the shore excursions and the destinations. You've got so many, both of you, Colin, you too, have got so many other components that you're adding in here that it's more than, as you said in the get-go, it's more than just a cruise. I sell the cruise experience, and as I said, you've got so much more in here, and I think it's so exciting. And as
I,
I say, it's not just people think, oh, I'm going to go on a cruise and it's a sun destination and I'm going to lie on the beach and sunbathe. There's so much more that you're going to do, from snorkeling to kayaking to seeing, whether you zip line or not. There is so much to do on this that in 7 days, it'll feel like hopefully 16 days, because you
yeah.
pack so much in.
Yeah, and I think from my perspective, I'm kind of at a point in my life where I'm trying to create experiences that are super memorable, that you kind of look back and go, wow, that was a highlight of, you know, we look back at our life right now, we've got certain milestones and things that we just remember are like, that was amazing. That was a highlight. And I'm really hoping that um the friendships and the connections that are formed, they'll continue, right? Like people will stay connected and we'll keep supporting each other. And yeah, so I'm really proud of what we've put together, and I'm really excited for it. I noticed that there was a question there. There's more ports than, so it's 8 days. So on day 8 we
To
end, right? So
disembark,
there's seven. So
disembark,
there's
seven
actually
nights.
eight. There's actually
Well, it
eight
says 7 nights,
ports.
8, but the eighth day you disembark.
Yeah, let me just look in the chat here to see if there's any others. But any other questions?
While you're
Anybody else
waiting
feeling a
for
pull?
questions, I can talk a little bit about the yoga being
Oh yeah.
completely all levels. So this is
Yes.
not like come and vinyasa. I mean, if you like that, that's great. And this is a little bit more supportive for the body and accessible to everyone. So I have been teaching in a bigger body my entire teaching life, and working through injuries, frozen shoulders, all of the things, and come with this background as a nurse. So I'm able to adapt the practices to anyone that's there in front of me. So if you think that, even Andrea, I would even get you on a stand-up paddleboard just because you said that you wouldn't be, just to
Can't
show
leave.
you that it doesn't have to be about doing a headstand, that, just
Well, it was
getting
the
on the board.
sports master who took one look at me and said, "No, I don't think so." But But I do have rotator cuffs, so you know what, Killian? I think I need to have a private webinar session with you to help. But it's not about me. I'm just excited for all of you because I saw some of your comments. Cecilia, you said it looks amazing, and it is. But also, what I want to mention, you're talking about the experiences. I want you to know the onboard experience with our crew is quite remarkable.
Mm-hmm.
It's a genuine, sincere friendship, warmth. And I have to say that when people come back on Windstar and the crew recognizes everybody, I mean, Janice, you saw the captain already. I won't tell everybody that Janice was hugging our captain. But it is really that type of friendship that you said, and meaningful, and I love that meaningful connections, Karen. That's going to stay with me because I love that. It epitomizes who Windstar is, and I
Yeah.
think that we're a perfect fit for this phenomenal group of ladies.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what? I don't bend well either, but I'm doing the yoga. So I'm hoping to come back more bendy. So yeah, and more relaxed. No, I think it's going to be wonderful. And you know what? We're there to experience it all with you, but we're also there to serve you. We're also there to, create those relationships with you. And oh, the other thing I didn't mention too is throughout the program and throughout the 7 day, Colin is also a coach as well. Like we are available. We will be doing things as a group, But we will make ourselves available to all of you for any one-on-one coaching sessions if you want to take anything further or you want to kind of just work through some stuff. Um, we're your gals. We'll make ourselves available. And we really wish, Andrea, that we had the owner suite to do that in, but we'll we'll
Can make it happen.
we'll we'll survive in our little suite. But yeah,
And your
so
little suite in your
I
277
know
square
it's
foot
beautiful. It's beautiful.
suite.
I can't wait. I can't wait. There is an energy and a vibe on these ships that is like none other, and I'm really thrilled and excited to be doing this. Yeah. And it's
And what
and personally, it's my first cruise, and I've actually made the joke of I'm one of the leaders and I could be a little green in the face, but I'm going to lead the group and I just need to do it. And I'm living the era of just step into the things that scare you but bring you joy. And we're doing it. We're doing it.
and
I'm
and
just
I
taking
want to
some
say,
gravel with me.
yes, exactly. Well, we'll give it to you. But all I have to say is that from my perspective, I really hope that whoever joins, and it looks like, well, Cecilia looks like you, and I've seen all your comments, but I have to say, I hope that we create memories like we like to say that'll last a lifetime. We really do hope that.
Yeah, and my hope too is I've seen all of the wonderful places that Windstar goes that we might be doing this again, but in other areas of this beautiful world. So yeah, awesome. I will close it off here and give all of you 5 minutes back of your time. But thank you all so much for joining us tonight, carving the time out of what I know for women is busy life. I'm just shoved my kid in an Uber to go to football, and then I'm going up to meet him. So um, thank you guys so much, and
Thank you.
we'll chat soon. Reach out.
Wonderful. Thank you, everybody.
Okay,
Thanks,
bye.
Karen. Bye.